everybody. This is Keith Gleason, host of Indie Comics Relay, creator of the Mighty Mascots, and promoter for the Plastic City Comic Con. And I'm here with the May recommendation video for Indie Comics. Before we get into that, just want to remind everybody Plastic City Comic Con happening July 20th, new location, Hilton Doubletree, Leominster, Mass. Admission is still $10, and we got a great guest list going. As you can see, we got some really great people coming and a whole list of vendors, artists, writers, crafters, you name it. So it's going to be a great show. And as always, we try to give you the best bang for your buck. $10, you can't go wrong with that. Also, reminder, HeroEnvy.com, RecklessSidekick.com, where you can get all my comic books, including Mighty Mascots, Swamp Tales, Reckless Chronicles, Kid Switch. You can also hire me for lettering. There's a lettering services tab, and you can just see some of the pages I've lettered in the past for multiple books. So I'm always available there as well. All right, moving on to this month's picks. So just a quick update. I always try to let people know. So every month I do my order from DCBS, and DCBS is linked with Previews, Diamonds, Lunar, and all those I think actually DCBS is Lunar now that and as I go through the catalog placing my order, I always kind of earmark books that I think look really cool, especially like number ones or one shots or trade paperbacks that are brand new, things like that. And it's not every new number one that's out. It's just new number ones that look really cool to me and that I'd like to recommend to people and let you know a little behind the why, I want to recommend. And some of these I buy right away in the floppy format. Some of them I buy when they're collected as a graphic novel, just because sometimes they'll read easier, and then it's easier on the old wallet as well, so yeah, without further ado, let's get started on this month's picks. So the first book that's up is Domain. This is a 5-issue miniseries. It's put out by Image Comics. The writer on this is Chip Zdarsky, and the artist is Rachel Stott. It's a mini-series premiere, but I guess from what I was reading, this is a public domain character, but updated for modern times. So it looks cool. And I got to say, Chip Zdarsky lately has been really writing, excuse me, awesome superhero stories. So I definitely want to check this one out. It looks cool. It's got aliens giving people powers, and I've never heard of this classic hero, so this will be cool to just check out an update of it. And like I said, Zdarsky, he started off as sort of a comedy writer, doing Sex Criminals and Howard the Duck and some other things like that, but he's slowly morphed into this awesome superhero writer. I love his current Batman run. I read some of his Daredevil. That was great too. And then he did Marvel 2-in-1 with the Fantastic Four, which starred the Thing, basically. It was really good stuff. So yeah, so I'm curious to check this out. So if you want to order Domain from Image Comics, this is the diamond code that you would give your retailer. Stuff like this, you really kind of want to give the retailers, your comic store, these diamond codes and let them know that you want the whole series. That way they order it for you, because I know a lot of shops are kind of tightening up on what they order and, sticking to the, major titles that they know will sell. And these lesser titles usually get sent to the back burner, unfortunately. So, but if you shout to your comic store, and most comic stores are cool, they will order this for you and have it ready for you in your pull box. So check that out. Domain number 1. All right, moving on to our next pick. This is Hello Darkness number 1. This is put out by Boom Studios. And this has got multiple writers and artists, including Garth Ennis, James Tynion IV, Brian Azzarello, Becky Cloonan, Werther Del Adira, I think is how you say it, Vanessa Del Rey. This is Boom Studios premiering a horror anthology, monthly horror anthology. This is great. It's a little pricey. It's $5.99, and I don't know if if that's going to be every issue price, but it says it has uh oh wow, and something new is killing a children's story unfolds in this as well. Oh cool. So they must be doing multiple, almost like Marvel Comics Presents style stories, and it's got a horror theme to it, you know. And yeah, this looks great. I mean, you say anthology, and I'm kind of there. I love anthologies, you know, and just like any classic anthologies, not everything's 100% great, but you got great creators here, so I think you can hedge your bets that actually something will be good here in this book, you know. So if you want to order Hello Darkness, this is the diamond code that you would give your store and let them know that you want to grab this. I mean, with all those creators, I'm assuming most stores will carry this, but you can never can assume, right? So give them that diamond code, let them know ICR sent you. Okay, moving on. Our next book is kind of a surprise. Biker Mice from Mars, #1. This is put out by Anie Press Inc. It is written by Melissa Flores, and artist is Francis Portela. And this is a 3-issue miniseries, actually updating Biker Mice from Mars. Now, I've seen a lot of nostalgia stuff coming from Dynamite and other even Mad Caves getting into it, like bringing back these old properties that we were all fond of when we were kids, like He-Man and things like that. And the last one I was expecting to see in comics was actually Biker Mice from Mars, but it's really cool that this is coming out. I don't remember this cartoon too well. I do remember I did watch it, and I know it was, a riff on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, much like some of these other properties were. But you got to support like cool '80s nostalgia properties like this, So I definitely gonna check this out. And then the artwork looks cool. I love the cover. So and the biggest shocker is this is coming from Anie Press, which they were doing Rick and Morty, but also just a lot of really indie kind of projects. So it's kind of interesting to see that it's coming out from them. I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to check it out. So if you want to get a copy of Biker Mice from Mars, this is the diamond code you would give your retailer and let them know. All right, moving on to our fourth book. This is Tales of the Unnamed, the Blizzard graphic novel trade paperback. This is the reason I'm interested in this. I guess this was originally published in the Image 30th anniversary anthology, and I didn't pick that up when it came out. But I didn't know Jeff Johns and Andrea Moody have a story in here, but this story is from the Unnamed universe. It's the whole Ghost Machine universe that Jeff Johns just launched. And so this is a character from that universe. And I've been loving everything Ghost Machine's been putting out, and I have everything, but I had no idea that this existed because I didn't pick up the anthology. So I'm going to be picking up this graphic novel just so I have the tie-in to Ghost Machine. And it's $14.99, which isn't too bad, for price for graphic novel. It's got like 12 issues, but it's probably, since it was part of an anthology, it's probably short issues. I bet each chapter was maybe 10 to 12 pages long or something like that. But yeah, I mean, Jeff Johns is a great writer. Andrea Moody, who's worked on some of the G.I. Joe stuff, like that artwork. So yeah, I think this is a home run for me. So if you want to get this graphic novel, which, you can't take for granted that stores might not order it, give them this diamond code and let them know you want it. All right, moving on to our last two picks. Another horror one. This is Graveyard Club, 1 of 2. This is Boom Studios, and this is where the writer is R.L. Stine. Artist is Carola Borelli. And I don't know if it's part of the Stuff of Nightmares series that R.L. Stine's been doing for Boom Studios, but it looks cool. It's supposed to be like a coming of age story with kids that hang out in a graveyard, I guess. um, I just everything. It's like Breakfast Club in a graveyard, they said, and it's also it would appeal to fans of Lock and Key and the chilling adventures of Sabrina the Teenage Witch, which I could kind of see that from the cover. But yeah, I've been enjoying R.L. Stine's comics. Like, he's been just doing a lot of horror stuff for Boom, and the Stuff in Nightmares series. If you haven't read it, is really good. It's like a series of minis and one shots, and that's kind of an anthology too. With the sort of Crypt Keeper kind of host called the Nightmare Keeper, I think is his name. And yeah, but it's great stuff, and I imagine this is going to continue that greatness. So if you want to order the Graveyard Club, this is the diamond code that you would give your retailer. Let them know you want it. A lot of horror this month, which is really cool, And our last pick is actually a horror as well. So moving on, the last book is called Patra #1. This is from Darkhorse Comics. It's a 4-issue mini-series. The writer on this is James Robinson, and the artist is Scott Collins. Now, these are two creators that I don't see a lot of work from in recent times, and I love both of these creators. James Robinson wrote one of the greatest superhero runs of all time, which is Starman. If you have not read it, I think they're coming out with omnibuses of that entire series. Highly recommend. Just a really cool series, just to see a superhero, the beginning, middle, and end of his career all in one series. It's so good, and it ties into the legacy of the Starman characters and all the different versions that existed. It's really great stuff. And Scott Collins, I first saw his name when he was doing Flash, working with actually Jeff Johns, and I like his style a lot. It's very different from anybody else out there, and he's one of those artists. I love his work, so I like that they're teaming up to do a horror book, and it's supposed to be a nod to 80s slashers and old school horror. So right there, even the cover looks great. This looks like kind of like like we were just saying, like the chilling adventures of Sabrina or something, but with a slasher kind of vibe to it. So yeah, no, I definitely want to check this out, just based on the powerhouse creators here. And hey, hopefully they'll do more stuff together. I'd love to see these two guys continue to make stuff. The comic world needs them. So so yeah, I love that. So but all right, everybody, that's it for this month's recommendations. Usually we have, like, the last few months have been packed, like 7 or 8 books. This one's like a little lighter, which was 6, which was nice. Could use a little break, from constant #1s coming out. There was some other things in there, like they're doing a Galactor mini series offshoot of the Mad Cave stuff from the Gotcha Man, and that looks okay. There were, there's a few other, like I said, I don't report on everything, but there's a lot of great stuff there. So if you're new to comics, just go to your shop and see if you can grab a previews guide from them, or go to Previews website and just go through their catalog section. There's a pull list thing there where you can link to your store if your store is part of it, and get your books through there. So you can actually start going through your orders every month too, and placing what you want to get, so highly recommend it. It gives you more full control of every book, and you don't have to miss out in case something sells out at your local store. So just get it ahead of time and know what's coming, so you can kind of speculate a little bit on, like, oh, that's going to be hot, so I got to grab this right away. It's just one of those things I've been doing for years, ever since I discovered the Previews catalog. But all right, everybody, thank you so much for tuning into these videos. Like, subscribe, share the channel. Join us every Monday or every other Monday now. And for our live streams, we have a great time with the guests and talk comics. We talk, whatever is happening in superhero world or pop culture, things like that. We just have a blast. So join us in the chat. Our chat has been growing and our views have been growing. So thank you all so much for that. But most importantly, I'd like you guys to read some comics. All right. We will talk to you later. Have a great week. Bye.